Hey everyone, it's Rock for Cash, the People's Champ, coming to you live from Cash Stadium. Just thought I'd do a little bit of a special Cash TV tonight as a bit of a review of the EFNFL, the experimental league that we ran this year, running at the same time as the EFNFL. So I'd go through, talk about the bowl winners, and also give you a bit of a statistical analysis of what happened. But before we get going, Rock for Cash has picked a song for this particular video, and it's quite an old one. It's by a guy called Thomas Dolby. It's called She Blinded Me With Science. So yeah, this science in the EFNFL definitely blinded a few of the participants, but I think some people got the hang of it, and yeah, I'll explain to you how it all went in a second. So just sit back and enjoy this song. So the EFNFL, this is really the brainchild of Moneymaker 7. He came up with the idea of running a experimental league where different things would be trialled just to see how they go before, if they ever get introduced into the FNFL. It was interesting. We had a draft as normal. Just run through the first picks of this draft, very similar to the FNFL, but Rock for Cash had the first pick, but he actually traded that to Smooth Criminal, and she picked up Todd Gurley with the first pick. Archie's All-Stars took Antonio Brown. Moneymaker 7 took David Johnson. The Browns took Ezekiel Elliott. Rock for Cash took Aaron Rodgers. Welcoming back the dark side, they took Le'Veon Bell. Little Waiters took Alvin Kamara. Young Remix Killers, DeAndre Hopkins. Shiva Kamini took Julio Jones, and Team Mazza took Melvin Gordon. So that was pretty much the first round. There was 18 rounds in this particular draft, 3 more than what is needed in the FNFL. So with that said, the season played 13 rounds before the final series. The ladder at the end of the home and away season saw the Browns on top, 10 wins out of 13. Then Little Waiters, Rock for Cash, Moneymaker 7 all had 9 wins. Archie's All-Stars on 8, Smooth Criminals on 7, the Dark Side on 6, Shiva Kamini on 4, Young Remix Killers on 2, and Team Mazza on 1 win for the season. Moved into a type of quarter-final situation in round 14. Saw the Browns beat Shiva Kamini, Little Waiters beat the Dark Side, Rock for Cash beat Smooth Criminal, and Moneymaker 7 defeated Archie's All-Stars. Interestingly enough, instead of waiting till the last round, the Sacco was actually played in this round, and Young Remix Killer beat Team Mazza. So Team Mazza actually finished up with a Sacco in both leagues. A great effort, probably never be done again. So it's something you can be proud of, to come last in both leagues. In the semi-finals, Moneymaker 7, they defeated the Browns, and Little Waiters defeated Rock for Cash. So that went on to the bowl matches. No names have been given to these bowl matches. So for the first versus second place game, saw Little Waiters on 202.74 defeat Moneymaker 7 148.08. In the third versus fourth, the Browns 178.92 beat Rock for Cash 162.26. In the fifth versus sixth, saw the Dark Side 213.46 defeat Archie's All-Stars 194.22. And in the 7th versus 8th game, it saw Smooth Criminal 140.76 defeat Shiva Kamini 122.98. So the final ladder saw Little Waiters on top, and a fantastic effort by her. not much song and dance have been made about this particular league, but I think it's time that we acknowledge what a great season she actually did have. She ended up winning 12 games out of 16. That's a 75% strike rate. That is a fantastic effort in anyone's book. So well done to you, little waiter. If there's ever a trophy, I'm sure that'll be mounted beautifully on the mantelpiece at home. So in second spot, saw Moneymaker Seffen, Browns in third, Rock for Cash in fourth, The Dark Side in fifth, Archie's All Stars in sixth, Smooth Criminal in seventh, and Shiva Kamini in eighth, Young Remix Killers in ninth, and as we said, Team Mazza the Sacco in 10th spot. So that's pretty much how the ladders finished up. Again, well done, little waiters. A great effort to win the very first EFNFL competition. Always going in history that you won the first one. No one will be able to ever take that away from you, so well done. So I just thought now I'd just run through some statistics that actually happened in this one. But before I do, just a few differences in this game that are very evident just in the team makeups. Whereas in the EFNFL we only have the one quarterback playing, in this one we actually had two playing. We also had, let me go back to my team. You picked two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end. Then you had two flexes where you could play either a running backs, wide receivers or tight ends. There was a kicker, and instead of having a defensive team, there's a defensive lineman and a linebacker. So individuals were actually chosen in this game as well. So a little bit novel, a little bit different. You had to think outside the square a little bit as to how to pick your team each week. Yeah, we only had 10 teams in there, so the pool of players was a little bit better than what is in the EFNFL. And also with the number of defensive players as well, it sort of made it pretty easy to find someone to fill those spots every week, and find someone, you know, that was okay most times to fill those spots. So statistically speaking, I mean, it was our first season, so it's very hard to judge whether these stats were good, bad or indifferent. The highest score for the year was 233.7 by Little Waiters over Team Mazza in round 12. The lowest score was 64.26 by Team Mazza versus Smooth Criminal in round 13. The greatest winning margin from that same game, 165.14 by Little Waiters over Team Mazza in round 12. The greatest winning sequence is 8+ by Little Waiters, and the greatest losing sequence was 13+ by Team Mazza. Team Mazza seemed to get excited about this in the first round. He beat Rock for Cash and then basically lost every game since then. He never actually went back and looked at his team again. So disappointing effort by someone who I thought was a fair income coach, but obviously not. Scores above 180, there were 79 of them. Sorry, scores over 150, there were 79 of them, so I don't know if that's good or bad. We had 14 scores over 200, so again, we'll wait and see if that's good or bad. We also had lower scores. There were 5 games that were scored under 100. Team Mazza's got 3 of them. Young Remix Killers 1 and Shiva Kamini 1. Greatest winning margins over 50 points. There were 19 of those through the season. 3 of them were over 100 points. Little Waiters beat Team Mazza by 165.14 points. Round 12, Smooth Criminal against Team Mazza, 130.6 points in round 13. and the dark side also 109.7 points against Team Mazza. So the top four, there was also a 90.32 by the Browns in round 8 against Team Mazza. So for the top four greatest winning margins were all done against Team Mazza. Consecutive games over 150. 3 people did it 7 times in a row. The dark side from rounds 2 to 8, as well as Rock for Cash rounds 2 to 8, and Little Waiters from round 10 through to the first place game. She's on 7+ in that one. Highest match aggregates above 380. It's a number I sort of chose at about 190 each, roughly, as to I thought that would be a pretty fair thing, but it might be a bit high because there are only 4 games that actually went over that score of 380 in a total combined score. The dark side, well, there was a game 407.68. The dark side got 213.46, beating Archie's All Stars 194.22 in the 5th versus 6th match just played in the last round. Lowest winning scores, there are only a couple. I chose 130 as the cut-off mark, and there's only 2 of those, 117.82 by Shiva Kamini to defeat Cav in round 5, and 127.6 by Shiva Kamini to beat Moneymaker 7 in round 7. Closest games, I had it under 6 points. There were only 5 of those. 2 of them were under a point. A .48 win by Moneymakers against Young Remix Killers in round 2 by .48, and a .6 by Shiva Kamini against the Dark Side in round 12. So the minor premier was, as I said, the Browns, but the eventual champion of the league was the Little Waiters. So really, that's pretty much, statistically speaking, what happened in the EFNFL. Look, Cash thought it was a really good league. It was run really well by Moneymaker 7. Again, thank you for doing that, so the Cash didn't have to worry about this one. Look, there's some interesting things in there. The Cash liked the defensive players instead of the team. It gave you a little bit more of an option in regards to choosing defensive players, because there's a lot more to choose from rather than just the 32 defensive teams. And if you got yourself a good one, like the Cash had Aaron Donald and Darius Leonard, the top 2 defensive players, and he had them pretty much all year. And yeah, they were just great for the Cash. I mean, the idea of 2 quarterbacks is a good idea. The 2 flexes is a good idea. Yeah, it's. I think anything that can make the EFNFL better, obviously, is something that we need to look at. But I don't think we need to make any hasty decisions in changing a format that currently works pretty well. It's good to have this. It's good to have an experimental league going where we can actually trial things. So yeah, look, overall, I think it was a success. And again, well done, Mickety, on organising it for everybody. So it looks like the EFNFL will be back up and running again next year. So those other coaches that didn't get involved in this, look, I think that really, it's another competition. It's not that hard. It can be done on the computer. I think there's even a team app for it as well. So it's not very hard to set a team, like Team Mazza, set and forget. Just pick a team in round 1 and just see how it goes. But I'll give you the drum. If you do that, you'll end up last, not win a game. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Plenty of time to talk about this one, iron out some nuts and bolts, see what worked, what didn't work. We'll have a debrief. The commission will have a debrief with Moneymaker 7 in the coming months, and we'll just see if we can't make this experimental league a little bit better. So with that said, again, congratulations to Little Waiters, the first winners of the EFNFL, never be able to be taken away from you, so well done. Whenever we talk about the EFNFL, we'll always say Little Waiters was the first winner, so well done, Danielle. A great effort to win it from where you were. So yeah, so again, I'll just finish this off with, it's a night before the Browns and the Smooth Criminal tie the knot. So all the best to you, Josh and Jordan, for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to emceeing the wedding tomorrow. It's an honour and a privilege that you actually asked me to do it. So Cash will give it 100% tomorrow night, and he's looking forward to catching up with family and having a few beers with them. So with that, that's the Cash out.